today we have to go for lecture number 12. In total, two more lectures are left for this course, and then this will be completed, inshallah. Your lecture 12 is according to your task 3, and task 3 is according to LO4. We have 4.1, 2, and 4 distinction 1. Today we will be covering the whole LO4 and 4.1. The question: understand how organization monitor and support the people in the workplace. Now we have studied a lot about the team, the people, how we manage, how we amalgamate things together, but how things are monitored, who overlook things going on in the organization, the tasks, responsibilities, designations, and if a person needs a support, what's the mechanism behind it? So this is about the methods organization use first to monitor the employees, that is checking the performance, attendance, whether they're coming by the time or not, well-being, their health, and compliance with the rules. The second thing is supporting employees. Then the question: provide guidance, resources, training, and well-being services to help them succeed at work. Now to the responsibilities which actually needs to be in the persuasive format to achieve all the goals and objectives of the organization, we need to see that what sort of support they need. Ways organization monitor people. First is always the performance appraisal reviews. Regular meetings where the managers evaluate employees' achievements, set targets, and identify the strengths and weaknesses. Basically, we do a small test run of SWOT analysis on each and every individual employee. Then key performance indicator, KPI, that is the measurable goals. For example, sales target, customer satisfaction scores, project deadlines. Each and everything is going to be handled in this era, as in the KPI sector. Then attendance and absenteeism tracking, in which we need to see how many people, the employees, are present and how many people are the one who often take off or leave, or they are doing it spontaneously. Monitoring the punctuality and reasons for the absence. That is why in most of the shops and specifically gym areas, education areas, we have installed the biometric system of the attendance. The moment you will enter the premises, just go for your thumb system and the system will record the time, date, and everything. Feedback system, survey, suggestion boxes, or 360-degree feedback to assess the employee engagement. Like it is even done in the classroom as well, that which employee, which people, student are participating more. Same goes in the organization as well. And in that way, they are able to know that which employee is eager to learn more and to go further. Technology monitoring, use of the software to track productivity, especially in the remote work, that is time logs, project management tools. Because when you're in the remote sector, we have to see the time as well. With that, the problem of the internet, that is valid too. Now, these are the ways in which we support the people. The first one was what? Monitoring the people. Now, supporting them. Training and development. We have two kinds: of the job, on the job. On the job means you are giving them the training, the workshops while they are at the work, mostly through the recorded lectures and videos. Then mentoring and coaching, one-to-one guidance from experienced staff. One person at a time only. Wellbeing programs, employee assistance programs, it is mostly now in every organization, whether it is big or small. Stress management workshop, this stress and time management. These both workshops are now very common. Before that, these things weren't literally something to be considered at all. But now, more and often, recently I did attend a stress time management workshop in which it was mandatory to attend it. Then health insurance or counseling. Very important. Even if you're an employee, even if you are working in any good reputational job, designation, or you're even a housewife, you need to go for the counseling session. It is mandatory. You need to, from your mind to relax all the components which are always aligning together. Work-life balance support, very important thing. And the triggers and the quarrels, they always arrive, then we are not able to balance between these two things, work and life. Both need proper guidance and time as well. Flexible working hours, remote working, or childcare support. Many brands organization, they support the child daycare system within the organization. Like you're working, and just like 2 3 minute walk, you're going to have a proper area in which your child will be safe. They're going to play or whatever they're doing there at their daycare. But it's really convenient for the mother, especially because it gives you mental relief from all the stress. Recognition and rewards. Maria B, a Pakistani brand, they do have it. And now, even when we go for the Umrah, we do have the daycares there as well at the Makkah Tower. It's really convenient. Like for the first time, you can take the child to the Haram, and then afterwards, it's easy to do the Umrah by your own self and keep the child at the daycare under the supervision of people. Policies and procedures. Clear HR policies to handle the grievances, equal opportunities, and safe working conditions. Like, sometimes we need to get the maternity leaves as well. Many organizations, they do not consider this even a thing as well. We do get a benefit as well in the developed nations, but it is a mostly thing which needs to be implemented in all sort of countries, not developed one only. And we need to be placing an equilibrium balance between male and female. Why this is important? Monitoring and supporting builds the employee motivation and loyalty, obviously. When you take care of their needs and wants, then definitely they are going to work harder day by day. Improves productivity and performance. The more you're going to take care of themselves and give them the relaxation from all the stress, they're going to work quite devotedly. Ensures compliance with the labor laws. All the legislation must be met carefully. Enhances the well-being and reduce the stress burnout again by attending the workshops, asking them thoroughly questions. Things gets really easy. Helps retain the talent, lowering the recruitment cost. What it means, when you are training the people from inside your organization more oftenly, you're able to train them with the perfect skills rather than recruiting again and again, conducting the interviews, selecting the best candidates, then going for the final rounds. It is better to do the training on the existing ones in which you see the potential. That is why we have to study about monitoring the employees and supporting them. For example, Shabamba House in, I guess it was in Kese, yes, monitor staff through regular branch level, that is the KPI, speed of service sales per shift. At the time, it supports the staff in training programs on food safety and customer service, plus recognition awards for high performance. Now, what they want to cater the consumers as well, and at the same time, they're a catering board. They're catering their own self as well, upgrading with the skills. This balance improves the morale and keeps the turnover low in competitive fast food industry. We're able to be keen and you work quite thrivingly, serving the consumers and getting the positive response. Another example, Al Jazeera Motor Sales, I think this was in Bahrain. We have weekly reports and customer feedback. They support the employees by offering in-house training, wellness allowances. If you work better, you're going to get different benefits. That is the allowances. And flexible work schedules. Whenever it is feasible for you, just go ahead with the work. This improves the motivation and customer service quality because when you're in the mood and you have the availability of the time, let's say if I work daily for 5 hours paid, I have confined that time for myself, that only me and my work. And within that 5 hours, maybe, and yes, most of the time, my motivation level is so high that I finish it within 3 hours as well. Because I know I can do it. That is why. And I'm relaxed with all of the responsibilities, with the environment, everything. So I can tackle the other things as well, doing the remote work as well. So this is what we're going to study in complete yellow for today. Now we are jumping towards 4.1. Before that, did you get the idea that what we are going to study now?
Yes.
Okay. It says explain how the human resource departments provide support and monitor people within the workplace. We did talk about support and monitor people as from the organization. Now, crucially, we are going to focus on the human resource department, how they help the support of people, that is employees, in supporting and monitoring. The command verb here is explain. It means make something clear to someone by describing or revealing relevant information in more detail. Be very careful that you have to define first The indicative content points, for this we have so many indicative content points. I was even for a while stunned that, oh my God, but like more than 10. And then you have to explain it according to the question. And do not forget to read the suggested evidence as well. Okay?
Okay.
The question is asking you to explain what the human resource is, then show how the HR department supports the employees in the workplace. Because, one thing which I even forgot to mention, there are two things. First, you're going to answer the question that how HR department provides support to the people within the workplace. Then the same question, how the HR department provides monitoring towards the people within the workplace. So two, in one question, we are having two segregation. Then show how the HR departments monitor employees within the workplace, includes the policies, procedures, legislation that HR uses to protect and support employees. Write it in clear and connected way, not just bullet points. I always talk about this. Many students they only add 1, 2, 3 bullet points. That's not their criteria of writing an answer. Always write in paragraph. Don't get into huge paragraphs, small chunks of paragraph, but at least explain and make your work presentable. Then, so basically, you need to explain the role of HR, looking after the people at the work and the tools they use to do this, like the contract policies, training, legal compliance, and so many other points as well. So, what is HR specifically? Now, this is the human resources, is the part of an organization responsible for the hiring people, looking after their well-being and development, ensuring the legal compliance, and supporting the managers and employees in workplace matters. HR is the backbone of the organization. They are recruiting the people, they are training the people, they are hiring the correct sort of people in the organization, and then thing goes on. Budget is important, cash flow is an important thing, finance department is equally important. But what if you have not the right audience to work for you? Will you be able to grow? You cannot. Purpose. Like in the school, we hire so many students. Basically, we're hiring them, no? They are coming in the school, we're giving them the education, whether it's of a qualitative or not. Apart from that, they're just paying us and we're enjoying the salaries. But what if you're not exactly making sure that they're learning something? Most of the time, it is not necessary to always go for the points which are in the book. We have to see things outside the box as well. Got it? You need to see around yourself that whether this thing, the course, the diploma, the certificate, the degrees, is it helping me in some way or not? Will I be able to pursue something or not? These questions are really important. Purpose HR makes sure the organization has the right people, that staff are treated fairly and safely, and that everyone understands the rules, expectations, and opportunities. Again, each and everything from minute to major details must be literally learned by the employees. It's mandatory. I remember the first day of my university, we used to, what do we call that? It's from O, the word start orientation. Yes. I did attended that and we got a book in which there were 1,000+ rules which we need to follow. It was student book. And till date, I do have it. And till now, I'm not able to understand half of the rules, but people used to follow it. Then HR board supports people, that is the training, counseling, career help, whereas the monitoring people is always about the reviews, attendance record, so the business runs smoothly and lawfully. What is the purpose that you have hired the people and they're not attending or coming in the um, organization at your firm place? Definitely the work hinders. Okay, starting with the points. The first one is the ensuring the correct policies from slide 12, the indicative content point start, are in the place. What it is, policies are the formal principles or the rules, that is equity, equality. Equity means you have to keep balance between male and female entity. Disciplinary data protection procedures are step-by-step instructions that explain how to follow the policies. For example, how to report the sickness. There is a certain way to write an email, right? Most of the people, they lack writing an email. They don't know what to add in the subject code, BC and CC. It's really important to work on it. Without it, your emails, they're mostly dumped as well by the MDs. What HR does in this context? Designs and rights, that is the policies, clear, accessible documents. It is with everyone. Updates them for the legal changes, for example, new employment laws. If you require, we do have it the moment it gets updated. Publishes them, employee handbooks intranet. Through the system through which all the departments are connected together, it is known as intranet. You can upload there and people can read it. Otherwise, just add that in the handbooks the way we used to get in the universities and colleges, trains managers to apply them consistently. Consistency is the key in each and every part of life, and same goes in the unis, in the workplace as well. Why it matters, the significance. Policies create fairness and predictability. Everyone knows what is allowed, what to expect, and how to get help. Procedures ensure the actions like managing absence or disciplining are done correctly and legally. All the abiding correctly and legally. So it is very important that you're using proper procedures to confirm the policies. To use it with the proper way. In practical tip, HR should use plain language, not use the English, which is really tough because in the organization we have people with different backgrounds. Give real examples and procedures that people can actually work on and keep a revision date. That is when you need to ask them again. The second point was assessing the developmental needs. Identifying what skills, knowledge, or behaviors are an employee needs to improve or require for the current role of future role. Sometimes we hire the people because we are needed to people at that moment in employ. But what's the cause there? Most of the time we have to train them, getting them on the job training or off the job training. It has a cost, but it is something which we need to do. So how HR does it? Performance reviews, identify gaps versus role expectations. If you think there is a gap between the organization and you want to fulfill it through the existence of a person as an employee, then you need to go for the expectations as well. Skills audit, a competency frameworks map and further assess the skills. If you need for skills which are lacking in your organization, then you can always train the people with the employees. Training needs an analysis. Ask managers and staff what learning will help the needs. That is like when you provide the answer and when you have issue that where do I find best examples from the SMEs or how I can remove sometimes students ask the management about the best tools and exact things. This is the thing which we need to do. Why? Because to make your work easy. It doesn't it I don't feel like it is something to hide or it is something to not share it with the audience. It is mandatory because sometimes you're exhausted with so many work. So you need to have a relief. Then career conversations, explore the long-term development and aspirations. Career conversation, that what do you feel and see yourself in this organization in within 2 years? Mostly the question is for 5 years, but let's assume it for 2 years. I know a person who is still at the same position and designation till date, and he joined 10 years before. He's my senior in the work because he don't know how to tackle up things. He's not that much sharp the way this youth is. He's quite behind. He only knows that I have to report the work, I have to do the work, I have to leave the place and go to the home. That is it. A monotonous routine. And literally no one's even disturbed him. He's same the way he used to be 10 years back. So creates individual development plans, IDPs. These are in the organization now very common that individually we focus on the people, the employees, that what they are lacking and what skills they are possessing the best. So we can work on them accordingly. Then organizes the training, that is internal workshops, online courses, mentoring. Again, you're in the work. I got an email that I have a meeting tomorrow. It's like a workshop. I will attend it. I know those things, but when you're in a meeting, you get a certification as well. And with that, you are able to build the networking. You're able to meet new personalities, which again is a good thing for your career. Then comes tracks the progress and evaluates the training impact. Training impact, which you always get at the start of the job, the day first. Why it matters, development raises capability, motivation, and retention. For monitoring the HR checks, competition rates, within the organization and outside as well. Post-training performance changes. Post-training means the training which we have given to the people, the employee, what expectations we have now from them. And manager feedback. Once the training has been delivered, what do you feel like as a manager that will this training or the dictation which we have given to the people, the employee, will it be a good thing for him or her or not? Always give that feedback to our seniors. Dealing with disciplinary issues, I think third or fourth point, it means the formal process used within an employee's conduct or performance is unacceptable. What it means that if you feel like there is something ambiguous, fishy, you need to report it or at least do it by your own self. HR role creates a fair disciplinary policy with the stages, that is informal counseling, formal warnings, final warning, dismissal. And most of the cases nowadays, it is simple dismissal. Go ahead. We don't want you. Advise managers on evidence collection and fair hearings. We have proper committees. Before that, we do not have any sort of committee who used to monitor these issues. Now we have it. And because it feels very awkward in the organizations, because we share the numbers and our all things are with the organizations. And the ambiguous time people are texting you. That's really bad. Why are you literally texting you a person in an odd time? There is no cause. And in the day you are like that, the most saint person, you are only living at the planet. This is pathetic behavior. Then comes keeping the record of the meetings, warnings, and outcomes. Each and everything is always with the management. How it is monitored, HR tracks the number of and the types of disciplinary cases, patterns of the behavior, and whether the intervention succeeded, that is, improved performance or repeated issues. If things got it on the first go, it is a good thing. But if it doesn't, then you need to again report it and take a serious action. Why it matters, a consistent, transparent process protects the employee's rights and reduces the legal risk for the employer as well. Employer, the one who has employed you in the work. Obviously, a manager is to an employee, but for you, it's an employer. Then supporting with the conflict resolution, helping resolve disputes between the colleagues or between staff and managers. Do not overlap your work balance with your life balances issues. Never do that. Go for the proper equilibrium. If your mood is not appropriate to go to work, try to adjust it, at least to not, in most of the organization, it happens. If you have some quarrel in the home or you have some mood off going on, mood swing, that is quite reluctant and readable in the organization too. Because you are always showering with the quarreling act or you are always shouting and be rude, and that's not the way. Why they are responsible for this behavior? They are working nicely. HR action, early intervention, period, informal conversation before issues escalate. If you feel like managers obviously have an instinct with them that there is something fishy going on, then always talk about it. Before that, it goes literally like a viral speed. Structured mediation, where a neutral HR mediator facilitates a solution, that is, a person who is appointed specifically to resolve the issue. Training and conflict skills for the managers and teams. If there is an issue, no, not an issue, basically, just to resolve the issues, we give the training to the specific teams and managers. Follow up to ensure agreed actions are implemented. If the things have been resolved, they have been ended, then you need to check the follow ups as well. Go for the follow ups, ask the questions again. Monitoring HR logs, complaints, measures time to resolution, and seeks for feedback on whether the solution worked or not, whether that issue has been resolved through the confined or not. Why it matters, unresolved conflict harms morale, productivity, and may lead to turnover. HR role is to restore working relationships and the fairness. Very true. This is one of the role of an HR, that you need to go for the work relationship with the smoothness and fairness equilibrium. Then comes advising the managers. HR acts as an expert advisor to line managers on people issues. Line managers that they are linked to that issue. They will see whether things are being or getting resolved or not. For example, of the advices, how to run a fair appraisal. Legal guidance on absence and capability. What happens if you're taking most oftenly off now and then? 10 minutes are left, okay. Then recruitment best practices. Recruitment best practices, how we can recruit the best employee for the organization. How to handle disclosure, for example, sickness and harassment. How HR supports. Policy briefings, one-to-one coaching for the managers, templates for the letters and meeting notes, and escalation notes. It's not even mandated to always write from the scratch the report or the emails. Templates are available. Why it matters, managers are usually first point of contact for the employees. HR equips them to act consistently legally. Yes, this happens. If your salary stuck or you're not being answered by the higher authorities, so it's better not to be rude with them. It's better to directly engage with the manager rather to the higher authority. Clear this point?
Yes.
Then comes the next point, that is support for those leaving the organization. That is retirement redundancy. What is the retirement? You need an off from the work now. We're done with everyone's behavior. It's the time to pack up. What it is, HR manages departures in a way that is lawful, compassionate, and clear. Maybe you have experienced it or not in the Saudi schools that the teacher farewells. Do you people have that? Like any good teacher, when they leave the schools, the students they give farewell to their teachers. Same goes in for the students as well. The school gives farewell to the students when they are promoted to the next class from school to college. Is there any concept there?
Teacher, you mean like party or like
Yeah.
celebrate?
A party, yes, like that.
Uh,
Do we have?
Sometimes it depends. Yeah,
Oh,
sometimes. Not for students.
strange. Here we do have it. We celebrate it if a teacher is gone, and
Oh,
when we are promoted to a new class. Yes. Okay. HR man, we did this. HR role now for this retirement, provide the advice on the pensions, phased retirement options, and transition planning. Provide the advice on pensions. You can get it together. You can get in the installment basis, like within 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, like that. This is what they propose. Then comes the phased retirement options, the one which suits you. In transition planning, the change plan you want to opt for. Few people, they don't need money. They always ask that we can get a plot, that is plot for house. Redundancy, this option is for basically army people. And the good multinational also gives you these offers. Follow the fair selection criteria, offer the consultation, explain the alternatives, and provide the redundancy pay where applicable. Where you feel like things can be adjusted, go ahead. Exit interviews, capture the reasons for leaving to improve the retention. What is the reason you are leaving the organization? If it's something you can resolve, try to. Because a organization, they never want to leave the employees because they're the assets. You have done the investment on them by giving them different workshops. Outplacement support career. That is why when you get training from the managers company, they only give it to those people where they have the audacity that they're not going to leave the organization soon because you're spending money on them. Monitoring HR tracks the turnover rates, exit the interview themes and cost of separation, like each and everything through which uh, they work on the retirement cost. It is studied to them. Why it matters, caring and legal exit processes protect the organization's reputation and give the departing staff dignity. Because it is not something like, people do bad mouth or you, like by your own self, left the organization, but they make stories behind you. So it's better to announce a proper retirement that, okay, I'm getting it. This is the reason. It's just because of the health, or I just want to take a break from the work life. It's almost done. Not like you're just leaving the organization. And procedures, that is the general explanation, because policies and procedure is a separate assessment criteria in the LO4. But this was the point in your indicative content, so that is why we need to do it. Now, the key policies HR typically maintains is the equal opportunities anti-discrimination. That is, keep a big balance between the both genders, health and safety, to give them maximum uh, protection and availability for the health and safety. Sometimes we have small kits available for each and every staff. It's a good gesture. Sickness and absence, if you're not feeling well, go for the leave. Disciplinary prevents if someone dies or their relative dies, give it tribute. Data protection, and because it's like even an act of humanitarian act, basically, that you ask someone that, are you okay? Are you fine? Is everything going good? You need to ask the others as well. Nowadays, people are in stress. They are going through depression and anxiety. The youth specifically.
yes.
So do always ask people. Okay, data protection and confidentiality. Do not uh, expose someone as an organization. Keep their secrets, and if you have shared something, be at a professional level. Flexible working, family friendly. If there is an event going on, always inform your managers and they are going to arrange a leave. Remote working IT usage. Yes, we opt for the remote working. It's easy, it's nice, but what's the issue? The issue of the internet. Mostly it hinders a lot. Procedure examples, how to request flexible working hours, and how to report a safety hazard, how to appeal a disciplinary decision. These three things are separate. Where we are working as work, we need to get that how to opt for the safety hazard. Um, the people who work in the coal mines, they do not have the proper gears and the stuff which they literally needed, the healthcare staff. So these things need to be addressed more oftenly. Then why it matters, policies are the backbone of the consistent HR practice and legal impact. Just like HR is the backbone of the company, the policies and procedures are due the backbone of the HR. If things are not according to policies, according to rules going on, then how you can go for the objectives and like each and everything. Okay. Then we have here you go. Recruitment and selection criteria, processes and standards used to attract and choose new staff. The way you're going to attract the people towards your organization. HR activities defining the vacancy and purpose, the reason behind the job and the designation of it. Then we have shortlisting against the objective criteria. The selected people out of 100, we can go for the 10. Interview them and one, what happens, reference and background checks, whether the, what do we call that? Their certification is authentic or not. Time to hire, quality of hire, probation success, equality of the recruitment, diversity metrics. That is how the HR monitors the people who are selected in the final rounds. Then we have why it matters. Good selection reduces the future performance issues and turnover. The people who have the enthusiasm to learn more, it is really easy to cope with these people further as well in the future. Then we have job description, JD, and person specification, the most important thing in the business studies. I remember JD is what the role does, task, and responsibilities. You're a teacher, but what's your task? What are your responsibilities? Person specification. Then now, what are your skills? What are your qualifications and behaviors required? HR's role. Write the clear job descriptions when they're promoting the jobs, when they are doing the advertisement. Ensure they match organizational needs and use them for the recruitment, appraisal, and training. That is for the purpose to retrain the staff again. Why it matters, clarity of role reduces role conflict and help measure the performance. What happens, it reduces the, mostly people would do when they got like in the interview brochure going on, or just they saw an ad on the LinkedIn or Indeed, they applied without reading the JD. What is the requirement of the job and what are the specifications required for that job? You need to read it and then apply it. That is why nowadays what happens, the recruiter, they mention it, only these people which hold XYZ sort of degrees are applicable for the job. This is the eligibility criteria. Contracts of employment, once you're hired, you're in the organization, then comes this part. JD, JS done. Job specification, person specification, both are the similar words. A legal document setting out the terms, that is hours, pay and notice, probation, benefits. How many hours I have to work, what will be the salary, will it be on the hour basis, daily basis, weekly, monthly? Important notices, probation, if it is going on, what will the benefits given to me for the job? HR responsibilities, issue complaint contracts, explain the terms during onboarding and keep record. It's better to tell them each and everything with white crystal language rather than making it difficult at the end. Most people, what they do, they get into the job, they have been hired, good salaries given to them, but the secrets of the rules, they're not told to them yet. Many organizations like NASCOM, NAPRA in Pakistan, these are the big organizations, multinational, there you're not allowed to use the phones, no matter what. If there is serious urgency, the person who is calling you can call on the landline, not directly to you, but to the office, as in the management. And then they will come to you and inform you. So it is fishy most of the time, but people are working to ensure the legal compliance and avoid disputes over the pay notice or duties. And that is why we always go for the contracts and employment. Flexible working hours, family-friendly policies. What are these? Arrangements that help the staff balance work and family life. That is the flexible hours, part-time, job share, parental leave. If we're having a wedding going on, you can take 1 week off, but afterwards you can adjust that by coming to Saturdays and Sundays. HR actions set up the application procedure, assess the request fairly, and design trial periods. It's not a good way to tell the management on the day you're taking the leave. It's better to inform them before a week so that they can do the arrangements. Monitoring track the update, business impact, coverage and productivity, and employee satisfaction. Each and everything needs to be considered in it. Why it matters, flexibility boosts retention and attracts diverse talent. What happens if you have taken the leave, you have appointed another person for, let's say, 1 month, you're going to see whether he possesses something different from him or not. And you can literally give him a permanent or a temporary job in the other departments as well. Termination of the employment, ending the job. What it is, process for ending the contracts, resignation, dismissal, redundancy, retirement. Uh, this is for so many causes, terminations. Then ensure the legal procedures are followed, perform the exit, admin, final pay, and complete the documentation. Like you even leave the hospital, proper forms are filled of the discharge papers, and then you are able to even leave an hospital. Before that, you cannot. Monitoring reasons for the termination and trends, for example, high resignations at the department to identify underlying issues. If, like, what do we call that? With a stance, within a period of 1 month, 10 people have resigned, then you need to see what's the issue. Then there is something going on. Induction, that is onboarding, a structured process to welcome new employees and help them becoming productive. That is to welcome new people the way the air hostess welcomes us in the plane. Prepare the induction schedules, assign bodies, deliver mandatory training, for example, health and safety, and set the early objectives. It's better to train them early as soon as possible, not to make them the boss of the organization, because this youth, they are literally the bosses. Why it matters? Good induction speeds up the performance, reduces early turnover, and clarifies the expectations. It makes sure that what your designation is, how you need to work, and things are sorted out in the early stance. Monitoring probation review outcomes, the one which we have proposed, time to productivity, how much hours we need to work in a day, and new starter feedback. Like we ask from the people now whether they are teaching right or not, even in the education sectors as well. Appraisal, that is performance reviews. What it is, formal meetings to review the past performance, set objectives, and plan development. Past performance of the person who has been employed. Provide the appraisal templates, train the managers, and ensure the appraisals happen regularly. Check and balance, basically. Completion rates achieved monitoring, completion rates achievement of objectives and performance distribution. Who needs help? If there is someone who requires motivation or he requires a support, then we can pinpoint a person and work on them. Why it matters, appraisal link individual work to organizational goals and identify the training needs. We are not even redundant them, we are just training them further. Training, that is through learning and development, planned activities to build skills and knowledge, the announced workshops I was talking about earlier as well. Design the training programs, sources providers, manage the budgets, track the completion, and measuring the learning impact as well. Monitoring training attendance, post-training assessments, and improving the improvements in the performance metrics of the KPI indicators. Why it matters, training up the upskilled staff, that is when you provide the training to the existing employees, they are able to move towards their upper designations. It improves the flexibilities and it fills the skill gaps as well. If there is a gap in the organization, we can fill them with these people. Data protection, GDPR Act, this is according to country, and for Saudi, we have PDPL. Okay, safeguarding the employee personal data and following laws. And in the other countries, we have GDPR. HR duties, limit the access to sensitive records, use secure HR systems, obtain consent where needed, and provide privacy notices. That is, we're asking them again and again at every step. Monitoring, audit assessed logs, data retention schedules, and incident logs for the breaches. Sometimes your personal data also leak, which is not a good thing. Why it matters, system gets hacked. Protects the employee privacy and reduces the legal and reputational risk. In this way, even the organization gets into the trouble regarding the, what do you call, what was the personal information, data leak. Then the last point from your indicative content was this, that is supporting personal issues. It could be any, mostly these are the bereavement and the maternity leave specifically. The reason behind is most of the organization, they do not literally consider this as a factor, but this is something very serious. People get 1 year paid in the clinical psychology field. Definition, HR provides practical and emotional support for life events affecting work, like after 6 months, 1 year, you can again rejoin the work and your child is going to be at the child daycare. Interaction reverment, compassionate leave, counseling, referrals, flexible return plans, like if you're taking it for the wedding or surgery. Then pregnancy, paternity policies, risk assessment, phased return to work, reasonable adjustments. For the schools and colleges and universities, it is encouraged a lot. But in the corporate sector, it is something like a taboo. Mental health. We did this, the employment, what it was in the cards. Lecture, EAP, employees assessment program, and then signposting to professional support, that is manager coaching. If they need the training, go ahead for it. Monitoring, use the absence data, return to work interviews, and employee surveys to spot trends and measure support effectiveness. And now, if you haven't taken leave for such a long period of time, then again, you need to give an interview so that we know that you are on track or not. Why it matters, support the practice ensures that it reduces the long-term absence, increases the loyalty, and helps staff remain productive. So these were all the points which were from your indicative content till the supporting personal issues. Now, how HR monitors people, we did discuss this, just a snapshot. We use it by the HR information system, HRIS, KPIs and dashboards, appraisal records, service and engagement surveys, one-to-one meetings, return to work interviews and exit interviews, and best practices. These were done in the start of the lecture L04. Then issues, pitfalls, inconsistency. Solve with clear templates and manager training. Why to make it very oblivious? Go with the proper track. Over monitoring, balance the data collection with privacy and trust. If you're taking it, do with the audacity. For communication of policies, keep plan with simple and provide examples wherever it requires and needed. Ignoring data, act on the trends from the surveys, exit interviews. Don't let them sit unused. That is, if there's something or some issue needs to be addressed, go it as soon as possible. Resolve it. HR supports people by designing and running the system that makes work fair, safe, and developmental. HR monitors people through appraisals, absence tracking, training records, and surveys. Yes, we actually work with the survey system as well and intranet through. Good HR practice combines clear policies. They're very clear with each and everything. They're compassionate. They're giving you the support. They manage in coaching you up and lawfully monitoring all the aimed at helping the employees do their best while protecting the organization. They're not going to make the organization to get into the trouble, hot water, and they're not going to make you unsecure as well. They will protect the rights of both the entities. Okay, for example, HR support and monitoring practice. A medium-sized retail company has 120 employees, including shop staff, warehouse staff, and head office roles. Situation: one employee, Sarah, has been struggling with attendance and low performance after returning. My God, is literally after returning from the maternity leave, she feels overwhelmed balancing work and home life. Now let's see what's the next. How HR supports and monitors. Policies and procedure. HR refers. Okay. HR refers Sarah to the family friends flexible working policy that allows part-time or adjusted hours. That is what the least can do because she came after like 6 months again. Advising managers. HR advises the line manager on how to handle the situation fairly, including the regular check-ins and supportive conversations. Conflict support. When other team members complain about covering Sarah's shift, HR arranges a team mediation meeting to reduce the tension. Because now she would be quite angry now. The real person came back to the job designation. But what will happen to the one who was already doing the job on her part? This needs to be resolved. Development needs. HR reviews Sarah's performance appraisal and identifies training to refresh her product knowledge and confidence, whether it's the same or not. HR tracks Sarah's attendance and performance using their system, ensuring improvements are happening or not. Personal support. HR offers counseling through the company's employee assistance program for stress management. Because again, it is something which needs to be addressed to any person with any sort of an issue. What was the outcome? With HR support, she moves to a flexible schedule when it was easy for her to work. Her performance improves after training. The moment she gets it, team conflict reduces through mediation, that is discussion. The organization retains a skilled employee instead of losing her to turnover. So it's always better to give space to a person if he or she requires it. It doesn't mean to literally redundant them or just make them go out of the organization. No, address the issue, work on it, and give it time. So did you understand the lecture, Lelo 4 and 4.1 today?
Yes, yes, Miss.
In the easiest and the most, you can say, error-free language. Let's read it. The HR department is the part of an organization that deals with managing people. Their role is to make sure that employees are supported, treated fairly, and given the right opportunities to grow. At the same time, HR also monitors staff to ensure they are following the rules, performing well, and working in a safe legal environment. Now, what were these? Good points of HR and the definition as well. Now, one of the main ways HR supports employees is by having the right policies and procedures in place. That is, they create clear rules on the equal opportunities, health and safety, and absence management. These policies help protect employees and ensure the fairness in the workplace because always the main issue is that there is no fairness at the workplace. There is always a discrimination between male and female entity. One of my friends, she works in PDMA, and she and her other colleague, she's still a female, only three girls are in the main head office, and there are around 30 people who are of age of 50. Now, can you imagine the youth of 25 age and working with the people of 50 age? It's like literally
Mm.
half age.
Yes.
She
Oh my
is
God.
done when she just go back to her home. She's done with everything. Because they
Yes,
don't
it's very
listen to
hard,
things.
teacher.
Yes. They argue with you for no reason and for no cause.
Yeah. It
Yes.
just drains your energy.
Yeah. So this happens. Then HR is also responsible for the recruitment and selection. That is, they prepare the job descriptions and person specification to make sure the right people are hired. That this is not only supporting the managers by giving them skilled workers, but also supporting the new people through fair hiring practices. Once someone is hired, I'm hired in the organization. The HR now provides contracts of employment which explain the rights, responsibilities, pay, and working hours. This helps both the employer and employee understand their agreement. I hope the concept of employee and employer is clear or not.
Yes.
Okay, because employee is the one who is being hired, and employer is the one who is hiring you. Okay,
Okay.
right. After recruitment, HR provides induction, training, and appraisals. Induction helps new employees settle into the job. Training develop their skills, while appraisals monitor the performance and help the staff grow. This monitoring allows HR to identify any development needs and provide support to improve the performance. If it is there is a need, you can go ahead for it. Another important role is to helping the employees with personal or sensitive issues. For example, HR supports staff dealing with bereavement, pregnancy, or other personal challenges by offering the flexible working arrangements or counseling services. This shows the care for the employee well-being. We have well-being centers literally for the people now in the organization, employees. HR also plays a role in dealing with the conflict and disciplinary issues. That is, if there are any disagreements between employees or problems with the behavior, HR steps in to resolve the matters fairly. They advise managers on how to handle the discipline while following the legal procedure. When employees are leaving an organization, HR provides support with the retirement, redundancy, or termination of the employment as well. To ensure this process is handled fairly and legally, reducing the stress for the employee as well. If there is something serious issue as well, even then the person do deserve a respect. At least terminate him or her with the proper way. Another key responsibility is data protection. HR looks after sensitive personal information like medical records or payroll data and ensures it is kept private in line with the data protection laws as well, with the country laws and judicial laws as well. Finally, HR monitors people by checking the attendance, performance, and compliance with the workplace rules, pay use, appraisals, absence reports, and performance data to ensure employees are meeting expectations, while also identifying where support may be needed. That is for the organization and for the employee as well. Then, if an employee is struggling with the performance, HR may notice this during an appraisal monitoring period and then provide extra training or mentoring that as a support. If another employee needs flexible hours because of the family responsibilities, HR can adjust their working pattern Under the family-friendly policies, that is a support. So this was an example of monitoring and support which is given to the employee by the organization. I hope the summary part also make things very easier for you to understand that what actually we studied today.
Yeah, teacher, it's all clear. Thank you so much.